Emma Williams smiled as she drove her Audi along the coastal highway in San Francisco. She anticipated arriving home a bit later than planned, but attributed it to the notorious traffic jams in the city. The delay in departure seemed like wasted time to her, though she didn't mind too much given the circumstances. Alex, almost 10 years younger than Emma, was not only an attentive lover, but also an engaging conversationalist. His attractiveness and stamina were evident as she drove away from the city. Emma's thoughts gradually drifted from Alex to her husband Michael and their daughter Lily waiting at home. Despite Alex's charm, there were places reserved in her heart that belonged exclusively to her family. Emma looked forward to spending time with them, especially now that her satisfaction was complete. Self-aware about her moods, she planned to be patient and loving toward Michael upon her return. Her smile revealed that she felt she had the best of both worlds. When Emma arrived home, she noticed Michael's truck was missing from the garage, which struck her as strange and unexpected. This caused a shift in her mood. She had hoped Michael would be there to greet her after her trip, but the house was empty. While pondering where Michael and Lily might be, Emma suddenly remembered that her phone had been turned off since dinner. Her thoughts had been so distracted that she hadn't even noticed that no one had called her. She decided to turn on her phone, returning to reality once again. Michael congratulated himself once again on having executed a simple but brilliant plan to please and surprise his wife. He had known about her planned conference in San Francisco for months. Emma attended twice a year, and as fate would have it, this conference fell on their 20th wedding anniversary. A few weeks earlier, Michael had been approached about building a large vacation home for a family in San Francisco. Once the business portion of the meeting was completed and Michael felt comfortable with the client, Richard, he expressed an idea that had only recently formed in his head. "Richard, on the 10th of next month, it's our anniversary. My wife will be attending a conference in downtown San Francisco. I'd like to surprise her and her colleague with a nice dinner at a good restaurant somewhere near her hotel. To top it off, I bought a pearl necklace that I'd like to present to her at dinner." "My daughter should organize this for you," Richard said. "She's in college now and knows all the good places in the city. She could arrange for the necklace to be delivered to your wife during dinner." "It sounds like you're planning on being lucky when your wife comes home," Richard added with a wink. "Why don't you just go to San Francisco with her and deliver it yourself?" "I've proposed that in the past, but Emma insists she's too busy to spend time with me. She says she'll have a late dinner and return to the hotel as soon as possible to rest for the next day. I have obligations here, and to travel that far only to be ignored seems a bit pointless," Michael reasoned. "I have another idea," Michael added. "Suppose I buy your daughter and her friend dinner if she agrees to sit at the table next to Emma and send me a live video on Facebook? I'd love to see Emma's surprised look when she opens the necklace box. I'll give you my daughter's number, and you can call or text her to arrange everything," Richard replied. "I'm sure she'll be happy to help get this done." Michael had several pizzas delivered to his home for a party he was throwing to celebrate his 20th anniversary. He invited his parents, Emma's parents, his brother and sister-in-law, and Emma's younger divorced sister. They all expected to see Emma in real time when he surprised her with an anniversary gift. Michael's 16-year-old daughter Lily was also there with several of her friends. Michael had everything set up so they could watch the video on the big screen TV. Richard's daughter will sit as close to Emma as she can without arousing her suspicions. She'll send videos to me via Facebook Live. She paid the waiter to deliver the wrapped gift after Emma and her coworker Megan order food. We'll see Emma's reaction in real time. This will be the best anniversary ever, considering we are so far apart, Michael explained with a happy smile. I've set everything up so that no sound will be transmitted from our side, so feel free to make comments, including what a great idea I had. Who is this guy with Mom? Lily asked as Emma came into view, holding hands with a handsome young man. Didn't you say she would be with Megan? I don't know who he is, Michael admitted. He seems to be a pretty close friend. Emma's father simply made a harumph sound and frowned at Michael's statement. As the couple took their seats, everyone gathered around Michael's TV could easily hear the conversation. It's very nice that your husband paid for our dinner this evening, the unknown man remarked with a grin. I will do my best to make this anniversary unforgettable, at least for you. It will be even better than your honeymoon. Then you better order a steak, Emma replied with a grin. You'll need strength. My honeymoon was epic. Is it true? The man asked. Did you have a lover then? Or did your husband actually manage to ring the chimes? Michael did a great job. Thanks for asking, Emma replied. You're the only lover I've had in the last 20 years, not counting Michael, of course. Luckily for me, he started to slow down. The good news is that you'll give me a much better 20th anniversary tonight than most women get. I'll take care of it. Maybe we've seen enough, Emma's sister suggested nervously. This isn't entirely fair. Emma has no idea what we're watching or listening to. Why don't you turn it off, Michael? We don't want to miss Emma's reaction when she receives her necklace, do we? Asked the determined but very red-faced Michael. Let's watch this train wreck for a little while longer, Michael insisted. While the couple was ordering, everyone heard Emma call her companion Alex. As the waiter left with the menu, another waiter appeared with a nicely wrapped package. Look, Michael must have delivered me a wedding anniversary gift, Emma exclaimed in delight, tearing open the packaging. Isn't it beautiful? Emma asked, looking at the string of pearls. Could you fasten it on me? Certainly, just lean towards me, Alex said, carefully fastening the necklace. Having completed his task, he quickly ran his hands over Emma's chest. Your husband is so romantic. You're lucky to have such a thoughtful man, remarked an elderly woman sitting at the next table. True on both counts, Alex agreed with a smile. She has a romantic husband and a handsome boyfriend. Emma glared at Alex, but the older woman simply laughed at his comment. I gave you a pearl necklace last night, which I think looks much better on you than this, Alex joked, leaning down and kissing Emma on the lips. That's the difference between a husband and a lover, Emma said with a sexy grin. Husbands give us jewelry, and lovers give us climaxes. Sorry, but I can't do this anymore, the beautiful red-haired girl who must have been Richard's daughter whispered as she turned off her phone. I should have stopped earlier, but I was so stunned that I went into shock. I'm so sorry it turned out this way. I will definitely delete everything from my phone. I have to go. The TV turned off, and everyone sat in stunned silence. One of Lily's friends was the first to speak. It's already late. We better leave. See you tomorrow at school. If I even go, Lily replied with tears in her eyes. Dad, is it okay if I go to my friend's house? I feel like I need to be with them now. Of course, honey. I understand. We'll talk tomorrow. Drive carefully, girls, Michael said, his voice practically a whisper due to how dry his throat was. I don't know what to say, Emma's mother began. I think we got the wrong impression about what was happening. Emma loves you, Michael, and would give her life for Lily. Don't do anything rash. Michael's other guests mostly repeated these words as they quietly discussed the situation. After a few more minutes of calm discussion, Michael made his decision. I have some things to think about. Everyone, please let yourselves out and give me some time to be alone and consider my options. When everyone had left, Michael took out his suitcase and began to pack his things. Emma was surprised by the number of messages and missed calls she had received since she turned off her phone the previous evening. As she looked through the messages, her heart sank. Her sister and mother demanded to know who Alex was and why she was so friendly with him. They insisted that she had broken Michael's heart and that Lily was also very upset. Her mother and sister had sent her at least a dozen messages each. Emma checked her messages to see if she had anything from Michael and found that she didn't. How did her family find out about Alex? And how much did they really know? Where were Michael and Lily? How could she get out of the hole she found herself in? She needed to find out exactly what Michael knew and what he merely suspected. Mother, it's me. I forgot I turned off my phone last night. Emma began as calmly as she could. I see you try to call me. Is there anything wrong? Only if you think the loss of your husband, the alienation and embarrassment of your daughter, the disgrace of your parents, and the behavior of an adulteress can be considered wrong, her mother ranted. I'm guessing it doesn't bother you too much. Otherwise, you wouldn't be enjoying a damn pearl necklace from your boyfriend. Michael gave me a string of pearls for our anniversary, Emma countered. Why should this upset you? Your father and I have seen enough adult films to understand what your boyfriend meant when he said you were wearing his pearl necklace, Emma's straightforward mother said. Mother, what makes you think I would do something like that? Why do you think I have a boyfriend? Emma asked, fear tying a knot in her gut. Don't play games with me. I am not stupid, her mother growled. Michael invited us to watch you open his 20th anniversary present at the restaurant. He booked a table for you and your colleague. I think her name was Megan. We have seen this whole vile story. Your husband treats you like a queen, and you don't respect him. Husbands give jewelry, and lovers give climaxes, I think you said. Did you hear me say that? Asked a shocked Emma. How is this possible? Michael asked Richard's daughter to do some sort of live broadcast from her phone. He wanted us to see how happy you would be with his gift. Then we were all going to call and congratulate you on your anniversary, her mother said sadly. Looks like this might be your last anniversary, at least with Michael. Maybe you'll meet your favorite boy again when things calm down. Mother, you know I love Michael. That other guy means nothing to me. It was just something to pass the time. These conferences are getting boring, Emma insisted. Oh, this changes everything, her mother said sarcastically. Michael will feel much better knowing that his wife is not an adulteress and that she was just bored. I assume you left your puzzle books at home. Mom, there's no use calling me names. How can I convince Michael that he is the only man I love? You didn't even convince me, so I'd say you have some work to do, her mother replied. Watching you with that man is the worst thing I've ever seen. I highly doubt Michael found it any better. After talking with her mother, Emma thought about her situation. Her entire family had seen and heard everything she and Alex had discussed at dinner the night before. Remembering her conversation with Alex, Emma realized how bad her situation was. She decided to call Lily. Lily, where are you? Emma asked when Lily answered her call. I'm with Jess. She's trying to console me because my family has broken up, Emma's daughter replied. We are not breaking up. Please come home, and we can talk about this. Where is your father? Emma asked uncertainly. He moved to a cottage on the lake, Lily answered. I don't think he wants to see you. He was so happy last night when he invited everyone to watch you open your gift. You practically tore his heart out when you showed up with your lover instead of Megan. Please come home, Emma repeated, trying to think of what she could say to Michael to get his forgiveness. After finishing her conversation with Lily, Emma began to look around the house. She noticed that a laptop and several filing cabinets were missing from Michael's office. The closet in his bedroom was completely empty as their marriage now felt. Emma fought back tears as she wandered aimlessly around the house, noting what items were missing. Michael hadn't taken a single photograph of her. This fact seemed especially depressing. Looking for something to take her mind off her crumbling marriage, Emma began cooking dinner for Lily. By the time Lily walked through the door, she had managed to prepare a small meal. Lily was sullen and only spoke to Emma when asked a direct question. Even then, Lily kept her answers as short as possible. Emma admitted to herself that her daughter had good reasons to be angry with her, but she hoped that over time, the hostility would, if not completely disappear, at least lessen. The next morning at dawn, Emma walked into their lake house to find Michael slumped uncomfortably and passed out on the small couch. Numerous empty beer cans were strewn across the floor. Michael, honey, we need to talk. Wake up, please, Emma said. Michael slowly opened his eyes and groaned. He gradually stood up and, without saying a word, headed to the bathroom. Emma decided to make some coffee while she waited for her husband to return. A few minutes later, Michael, fresh from his shower, returned to the kitchen, and Emma placed a mug in front of him. Emma hoped that Michael would initiate the difficult conversation, but that hope soon faded. It was obvious that Michael had no intention of starting a conversation. Michael, I'm sorry this happened. I love the pearls. It was a wonderful gift that I will always cherish. It's a pity that I didn't know that you would share everything with the family. It would have been great if you had told me about this, Emma said, hoping to open a dialogue. You, was all Michael could answer, as he was infuriated by Emma's attempt to make him out to be the wrongdoer. Emma was surprised and hurt by Michael's answer. In all their years of marriage, he had never spoken to her in a disrespectful manner. This was clear evidence of the pain she had caused him. That won't help, Emma answered calmly. Tell me what I should do to fix everything. You are the only man I have ever loved. That hasn't changed. Together, we can deal with this. Tell me exactly what problem you want to solve. The problem is that I surprised you with an anniversary gift in a nice restaurant where I booked a table for you and a friend. The problem is that my client's daughter agreed to send a video of your reaction in real time. The problem is that I mistakenly decided that you would appreciate this gift. Explain to me what the problem is so that I understand what you are talking about, Michael said calmly. You know what the problem is, Emma insisted. Last night, you saw me and Alex in the restaurant. I know that you have dinner with others from time to time. Why do you think that's the problem? Michael asked. You know perfectly well why this is a problem. I told you I was going to dinner with Megan, but I actually went with Alex. You overheard our conversation and found out that we slept together. This is the problem we need to work on, Emma admitted, blushing. Realizing that in her current situation, it would not be possible to go on the offensive, she added, just to be clear, is the problem that I, along with your entire family, overheard your conversation, or is the problem that you had sex with another man? The problem is my behavior, admitted a blushing Emma. You were just trying to be nice to me on our anniversary. You didn't do anything wrong. Okay, we're making progress. Now tell me, why did you cheat on me? For how long? And with how many men did it happen? Michael demanded. Is Lily my biological daughter? Is there any chance that her father was the mailman? Michael's offensive question provoked Emma's reaction. There's no need to be vulgar or offensive. Of course, Lily is your daughter. Alex has been my only lover since we started dating. Your comment about how many men I've had and Lily's father being a mailman was just cruel. I'm having a hard time understanding your logic, Michael countered. You admit that you are a cheater, but you insist that there be a line drawn as to how big of a cheater you are. You want me to be polite and understanding, not to mention gullible, when you tell me that you've only had one man's lover. Are you proud that you haven't cheated on me that often? By the way, how long have you been sleeping with pretty Alex, and how often? You forgot to mention these important facts when you began to confess your sins. This was the third conference we've slept together at, Emma admitted, tears in her eyes as she finally began to feel the depth of Michael's anger and humiliation. Besides you, he's the only man I've been with since we got married 20 years ago. It will be 2 nights together at each of the 3 conferences, said Michael. Have you ever had sex with him anywhere else? No, Emma stated. This has been a total of 6 times, and I deeply regret it. I owe you an apology. Are you saying that a young stud like Alex was only capable of once a night with a beauty like you? Asked Michael. He never had you more than once a night. Who cares? Asked a discouraged Emma. We probably did it 3 times every night. Now for the big question, Michael announced. Why did you have sex with another man? Was sex with me so thankless, so mundane, so pathetic that you needed to find a younger, more satisfying lover? Of course not. I was bored, and he pursued me tirelessly. I turned out to be weak. It's not about you or our sex life. It's my vanity, maybe a midlife crisis. He doesn't mean anything to me, I swear, Emma explained. It's clear you had sex with a man who meant nothing to you, Michael repeated. Did you have sex with Mr. Peterson, the guy who lives down the street and wears those ridiculous shirts? Of course not. I barely know him, and I find him repulsive. Emma continued to defend herself. But you just told me that you sleep with men you don't love and who mean nothing to you. Peterson fits that description, so why don't you have sex with him? Michael pressed. I didn't say that I sleep with every man who means nothing to me, Emma explained, upset. I slept with Alex because he is handsome, courteous, and successful. He was pursuing me. Do you want to say that you will only cheat on me with handsome, successful men who pursue you? Apart from a few of these guys, are you a faithful wife? Michael questioned. If you don't love the man you have sex with, doesn't that mean you don't love me? No, I'm telling you that I made a terrible mistake, and it will never happen again, Emma said with feeling. I love you, not Alex. How do I know this? Michael asked quietly. At our wedding and several other times over the years, you promised to be faithful to me. You are a beautiful woman. Handsome, successful men will always pursue you. I can't trust you. I can't even give you the great sex you love so much. Don't ever think like that, Michael. I love sex with you. It's special and makes me feel loved, Emma replied. How did Alex make you feel that you kept coming back to him? Michael asked softly. Dirty. Used. Not like a mother or wife. It was the wrongness that got me hooked, not love, Emma admitted, clearly embarrassed. What did you do with him, and how? Asked Michael quietly. What does it matter? I love only you, Emma protested, clearly embarrassed. I have something to think about. You stand here and tell me that you love me, not him, but you had dirty sex with him. It's hard for me to accept that you were willing to do much more for a person who means nothing to you than for the person you love, Michael reasoned. You haven't asked me to please your manhood below the belt for a long time. I wasn't so much against it as I thought you'd lost interest. Yes, what kind of married guy would want to get this from his wife, especially when she gives it out like candy? You told me on our honeymoon that I would be the only man you loved, Michael recalled. You and Alex must have had a lot of fun at my expense. Everything was wrong. He never talked about you. I would never allow that, Emma insisted. You seem to have forgotten that I heard several minutes of your conversation. He insulted me several times, and you went along with it. Remember how I slowed down? That he would give you a better 20th anniversary than most wives? You didn't object, did you? Why are we even wasting time here? Michael suddenly demanded. You found someone new. I accept it. It looks like you should, too. Why pretend that you want to stay married? It's obvious that you didn't enjoy being my wife, and let's not even talk about bad sex. You were beautiful, successful, and smart, and I bring nothing to the table. It was only a matter of time before you started looking for something better. Congratulations, you found it. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. Michael, we can't let this discussion end this badly. We have to discuss everything and find a way back, Emma tearfully begged. You can ask your lawyer to talk to my lawyer. It's over between us, Emma. I'm going to divorce you. You left me no choice. That day, Emma went to work, but was found in the break room by an angry Megan. Why did Michael ask me about going with you to San Francisco for a conference? You know very well that I stopped attending them after you decided to spend your nights with Romeo from the Sacramento office. I don't want you to use me as a cover for your infidelity. Did Michael call you? And what did you tell him? Emma said dejectedly. The truth. I didn't go to the last two conferences. I was under the impression that you told him that we were going to share a room and spend time at the conference together. I don't like being used like that. That won't be a problem anymore. Michael learned everything on this trip. I think he's going to divorce me, Emma admitted. What other outcome could you expect? Megan demanded. No decent man could accept this level of disrespect. I was too damn stupid and self-centered to even think about Michael finding out about this, Emma answered frankly. He moved out. Don't you think you made a choice when you slept with that guy from Sacramento? Megan asked, a little softer. I'm sorry you lost Michael, but I warned you that this would happen if you continued like this. It wasn't me who told him, if that's what you're thinking. I know, Megan. I owe you an apology. I abused your friendship. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you. I don't deserve a man like Michael. After finding out that Emma was cheating on him, Michael took the day off from work. He was determined to move all his belongings to the lake house before Emma returned home. He didn't want to listen to her reasons and excuses for cheating. He hated the thought of life without Emma, but he knew he could never forgive her callous disregard for his feelings or her ambivalence about loyalty and respect. Her unexpected visit the next morning simply revealed a huge emotional chasm dividing them. She didn't say anything that could help him forgive her betrayal. He made an appointment with a lawyer for the next day. The next day, he was preparing to leave the office for a meeting with a divorce lawyer when he received a new email. It was from Emma. He wondered if he should read it or just delete it. After an internal debate, he opened the letter. In her typical fashion, Emma tackled the problem head-on. He felt nothing but despair when he read her message. Michael, I know I really screwed up this time. I was so stupid that I thought you would never know, and my actions would never hurt you. I was wrong. Lying and cheating destroy marriages, even if one partner doesn't know what's happening. You deserve so much more. I have never wanted anything in my life as much as I want you to forgive me, but I will not challenge any of your actions regarding our marriage. I have lost my right to participate in your decisions. I love you and wish you all the best. You are a wonderful man, husband, and father. This is all entirely on my conscience. I accept this truth, although I feel bad that I did this to us. Michael fought back tears as he read Emma's confession and her plea for forgiveness. It was like her to accept blame for her actions when she had time to think about the situation. She was a strong woman, requiring the best from both others and herself. He felt empty and saw no reason to answer the letter. He had nothing more to say. After that morning when Emma arrived at Michael's lake house, her only source of information about Michael was Lily. On Friday afternoon, Lily called Emma to say she was going to her dad's cabin for the weekend. Michael would bring her home on Sunday evening. Emma realized that this was how her life would continue. She spent a miserable weekend thinking about how much she had screwed up her life. She had no idea how to correct her mistake, or even if it was possible to correct it. Had she completely ruined her once happy marriage? Returning home on Sunday evening, Lily looked rather gloomy. Dad decided to divorce you. He cannot live with someone who has lost all respect for him. I saw him cry several times this weekend. I've never seen this before in my entire life. Do you have any idea how much you offended him? Your boyfriend is probably a lot better than Dad, Lily said. He's not my boyfriend, and he's no match for your father, Emma replied, shocked. It was a huge mistake, and I deeply regret it. Your father is the best man I have ever known. Forgive both Dad and me for being skeptical, Lily replied. This isn't the first time you've slept with this bastard, right? You've been deceiving us for years, haven't you? Lily asked angrily. Emma realized it was time to stop lying to her family. I slept with him at 2 conferences before this last one. It was wrong, and I apologize, Emma confessed. Was it wrong? That's putting it mildly, don't you think, Mom? Lily objected angrily. You betrayed your father in the worst possible way. Didn't you vow to be faithful when you married him? Did you cross your fingers at that moment, hoping it wouldn't count? I know you're upset with me, but not as much as I am. Your father is a wonderful man and a great father. You know it. What I did doesn't mean I think less of him. I acted very stupidly, Emma admitted sadly. As you say, Lily stated and went to her room. When Emma returned to work, things returned to normal. She and Lily barely spoke to each other. Her life raft was her job. Everything there remained normal, except for Megan's cold attitude towards her. She went to Lily's school events, but usually sat alone unless her mom came with her. This was the only time she saw Michael. He always sat as far away from her as possible, and the other parents quickly noticed this. It soon became known that they were getting a divorce. Emma periodically heard fathers, both single and married, make lewd remarks and suggestions. It was quite obvious that the rumor of Emma's infidelity had spread throughout the community. Michael threw himself into his business. This was the silver lining of the whole fiasco. The irony was that Emma would get half the business. His lawyer suggested several tactics that could reduce Emma's share of the business, but Michael refused to listen. If it weren't for her, we would have nothing to share. I'm not going to deny the facts. Emma worked beside me and even gave part of her salary to keep us afloat when we first took over the family business, Michael insisted. Emma was very surprised when her lawyer explained to her how Michael was giving her half of his ownership of the business. A few years earlier, when Michael was going through a cash flow crisis, the company was bought by Michael's best friend Thomas. Thomas was a silent partner who owned 1/3 of the company. Having ceded half of their property to Emma, Michael found himself in a vulnerable position. He owned and controlled only 1/3 of the business. Tell Michael this is too much, Emma insisted to her lawyer. He was the one who devoted all his time and energy to the business. If he insists on giving me a share, tell him that I agree to 1/10 of what we own. He will maintain control without possible disputes. Michael was nothing if not stubborn. When the snow melted the following spring, Emma became a single woman again and the 3rd owner of Williams Enterprises. She couldn't even convince Michael to talk to her on the phone. He completely cut her out of his life. Lily told Emma that she wanted to spend the summer between her junior and senior years of high school at the lake house with her father. Emma knew this was another attempt by Lily to punish her, but she accepted that she had earned her daughter's scorn. Michael, for his part, was delighted. He developed plans to almost double the size of the cabin. Owning a construction company, he easily completed the construction by the end of July. It was now a 3-bedroom lake house. Each bedroom had its own bathroom and a good view of the lake. It was a completely modernized and comfortable house. The first weekend in August, Michael hosted an open house for his friends and neighbors at the lake. All of Lily's friends were invited. One of them brought with her an older cousin whom Michael couldn't help but notice. She had a striking blonde look that was complemented very well by a rather modest two-piece swimsuit. During the day, Michael noticed that this girl was near him most of the time. She laughed at his jokes and flirted with him every chance she got. "Well, Dad, are you trying to get into Natalie's bikini?" Lily asked one day when they were alone in the kitchen. "Of course not," Michael protested. "She can't be older than 25, and I haven't decided to start dating yet." "She's 27 and seems very interested in you," Lily replied with a knowing smile. "She asks how long you've been single, how old you are, what you do for a living. Everything women want to know about potential husbands." "I just met her today. Don't even think about mentioning the word marriage to me," Michael replied. "I tried once, and that was enough. I'm not hinting at anything other than that she seems interested. I wouldn't mind if you dated her. She's pretty sweet, and you need someone to help you forget Mom. From what I've seen, Natalie is in no hurry to get married. I think she's focused on her career now, but this doesn't mean that she doesn't enjoy male company." "Thanks for enlightening me," Michael joked to his daughter. "This girl is too attractive to be interested in an old guy like me, but thank you for your trust. I appreciate your faith in me." Emma's company occupied the top 2 floors of an office building in the business district. At the end of the same block was a very popular Italian bistro. She used to have lunch there every Thursday with a few of her friends from work. Because she kept an informal lunch schedule, she often saw the same people eating lunch at the same time. Emma and her coworkers became friends with employees of several other companies located in her building. One afternoon, the bistro was unusually crowded, and Emma's group was unable to get a table. One of the employees at Gibson Advertising, located on the 2nd floor of her building, invited her group to join them at a large table. They quickly accepted the invitation. After everyone said their first and last names as an introduction, the conversation began. One of the women on the advertising team was particularly attractive and very friendly. Emma found herself enjoying the young woman's good humor. She smiled as the other ladies began to tease the woman. "We don't all have a rich guy with a big house on Lake Tahoe," the woman Emma knew as Jennifer teased. "It must be nice to wake up with the morning sun reflecting off the lake." "Yes," the young woman agreed, "especially with a handsome guy who gently caresses me. Getting out of bed is such a hassle." "If this is the guy who picked you up after work on Thursday, then I can see why it might be a problem," another woman said. "He looks a little older than you, but he seems to be in good shape. He has all his hair and is quite good-looking." "Michael is all that and more," the young woman offered, smiling widely. "He's a really good guy and a really good lover." Emma's friend immediately asked the very question Emma didn't even want to consider. "You're not talking about Michael Williams, are you?" "Do you know Michael?" asked the young beauty before adding. "You have to admit he looks good. He's a great guy, but he used to be Emma's husband," her colleague said. "I think we should change the subject." "Don't be so dramatic," Emma insisted, leaning toward the young woman and extending her hand. "I'm Emma Williams. I didn't catch your name." "Natalie Foster. His ex-wife was beautiful, but I thought he was probably blinded by love," Natalie admitted. "It turns out he didn't do you justice. I hope you won't be upset that I'm living with Michael now." "I certainly can't blame you or him for that matter," Emma answered honestly. "You are a beautiful young woman with an amazing figure. I can easily understand why Michael liked you. I wonder why Lily never told me anything about you. I can't speak for Lily, but I want to say that you raised your daughter well. She is very smart, attentive, and also beautiful, just like her mother. I really like it when she visits us," Natalie concluded. That evening, Emma questioned Lily while they were having dinner. "Why didn't you tell me that your father has a beautiful girlfriend who came to live with him? This is something that would interest me." "Honestly, Mom, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. I know how you feel about Dad," Lily replied. "I'm still upset that you cheated on him, but I don't want to make you unhappy because of your bad choices. Natalie is actually good to Dad. He finally seems happy again. This may surprise you, but I'm glad to hear that Michael is happy. He's a wonderful person and deserves to be with a woman who loves him, Even if it's not me, Emma responded. I don't think she directly loves Dad, but she really likes him. She made it clear that her career comes first for the next few years. I want to achieve great success in marketing, she says. Are you going to start dating, Mom? Do you keep in touch with your boyfriend from conferences? Do you think you can get along with him? Lily asked. Alex is not the person I would look for in a relationship, Emma admitted. He is superficial, slightly rude, selfish, and vain. I never thought of it as anything more than entertainment. It turned out that he made my life hell, although I knew what I was doing. I shouldn't blame him for my weakness. Are you interested in anyone? Lily asked. You're still beautiful. I've noticed how some fathers and teachers look at you and go out of their way to be polite to you at school events. Honestly, I think Michael ruined me for other men, Emma replied with a sad smile. The reason for our divorce is known to most people in the area. It makes women sympathize with your father and men think of me as an easy target. It was probably easy for Alex, but I won't repeat that mistake again. I just don't understand how you could cheat on your father if you love him so much. Lily was surprised. He always treated you with love and respect. Something went wrong, Emma admitted. I've asked myself this question many times. I think I started to take your father for granted. I knew that he loved me, and I was very confident in this love. This somehow resulted in attempts to try another man. Maybe because I knew that I had a reliable man at home. Michael was my anchor. He was always there for me. I foolishly believed that he would always be there. I could have gone a little astray, and he would not have known about it, and still, my devoted husband would have been at home. I pray that you find a man like Michael when you are ready to start a family and use my experience as a cautionary tale. Never take more than you give in a relationship. Be faithful, dedicated, and honest. If you are thinking about something that could harm your relationship, discuss it with your husband. I showed you what happens when you lie and cheat. Sometimes Emma would run into Natalie during lunch. She was surprised by how much she liked this woman. She also felt embarrassed that she was anxiously awaiting any news regarding Michael. Lily didn't want to tell Emma too much about her father. As his daughter, she could not be privy to some of the more personal aspects of his life. Natalie willingly discussed Michael with her friends. Emma, it's obvious that you still love Michael, Natalie remarked one day while the two women were having lunch. He never says anything bad about you, but it's obvious that you offended him greatly. I'm not here to judge you, but I have to say that I would never cheat if I was in a relationship. I find it hard to believe you did this. Everything I see and hear from you says that you love and respect him. I would encourage you to remember this when the flame of passion fades and you are caught up in everyday life. I lost my way and paid for it, Emma replied. Love isn't always about wild sex and great vacations. Sometimes it's trying to decide when to pump out the septic tank or what color to paint the house. Everything becomes ordinary, but that's normal. Michael is an honest businessman, a caring, loyal friend, and a great father. I will always love him, but I betrayed him in the worst way a wife can. I learned my lesson, perhaps too late. I told Michael last night that I was accepting a position in Seattle and would be leaving in 2 weeks, Natalie said. This is a great opportunity for me. I told him from the beginning that I put my career first, but I see that my news upset him. I'm telling you this so you know what he's going through and maybe help him if he gets depressed. He's a really great guy. He's just not my forever boyfriend. I'm sure he will miss you very much. Emma started with a small smile. Michael doesn't do anything on a whim. If he invited you to live with him, it means he has a very high opinion of you as a person in addition to your beauty. At the same time, he is a strong person. I tested his strength, but he survived. He'll miss you, but he's a great catch, and I doubt his bed will be empty for very long. Yes, that's why I give you the information first, Natalie replied with a smile of her own. What you do with it depends only on you. Only a week had passed when Michael's best friend and silent partner, Thomas, asked Emma to meet him for lunch at the bistro. The room was crowded, but they found a small table to the side. After the usual greetings and formalities, Thomas explained the reason for his request for a meeting. You know that piece of land that Michael bought on Highway 101 near the river? I have a buyer willing to pay almost $2 million for it. Michael bought it for next to nothing. The profit will be huge. Your third will be more than $500,000. Michael said that this land will appreciate and someday it will be very expensive. Is he going to sell it? Emma asked, wondering why she was participating in the discussion. That's the problem, Thomas replied. He says he thinks the company will get more benefit if they offer it for a long-term lease. He would like the contract to stipulate that his company will build what the tenant needs for their business. That sounds like Michael, Emma admitted with a smile, thinking about how businesslike and smart he was. I'm sure he's done the math, and his plan will be more profitable in the long run. What is the problem? I think we need to make a quick profit by selling the land. Planning 10 to 15 years ahead is great, but I'd like to get the money now. You own a third of the company, I own a third. Together, we could insist that Michael accept the offer and then pay us our share of the profits. Michael won't get hurt. Hell, he'll get $500,000 in cash to calm any ruffled feathers, Thomas proposed. Emma felt her anger rising as she listened to Thomas make his proposal. Are you asking me to betray Michael's trust? You think money means more to me than Michael's ruffled feathers, as you call it? Let me tell you something. Michael would take this as a complete and utter betrayal by his ex-wife and best friend. This is the worst thing you could do to him. Worse than his wife having sex with some young guy at a conference, teased Thomas. You're his ex-wife for a reason. You've already betrayed him. He divorced your cheating ass. This is a chance to get a little revenge and, at the same time, get a good amount of money. That act about a faithful wife won't fly. We both know that description doesn't suit you. I betrayed Michael, and I admit it, Emma replied in suppressed rage. I was stupid and selfish, but I never wanted to hurt him. He's better than both of us and deserves much better business partners than either of us will ever be. That's why I will never betray him again. I'd rather lose my last penny than hurt Michael like that. I proved that I was a lousy wife, and you just proved that you are a bad friend and partner. Michael will control my share of the company as long as I breathe. In fact, I'll be making a new will to make sure Michael gets my share after I die. You should know better than to doubt his business skills, Emma stated angrily, standing up and placing a bill on the table to cover her half-eaten lunch. Then she looked into Thomas's eyes. Please don't try to steal this too. Almost a month later, Emma opened the door and saw Michael standing on the porch. She was very surprised. Michael had studiously avoided her since the morning she returned from the ill-fated conference. Michael, come in. Everything is fine. Lily left a few minutes ago if you're looking for her, Emma said, surprised at how excited she was about Michael's presence. I'm here to talk if you have time, Michael began, entering the house that had been his for over 15 years. Can you give me a few minutes? If you're busy, I'll try another time. I'm not busy, Emma answered quickly, and I just made coffee. Why don't we sit in the kitchen? I appreciate you taking me in so quickly, Michael said, picking up his coffee mug. You always made excellent coffee. When we first got married, I didn't even know how to cook it, Emma answered with a grin. It took me a while to get it right. I didn't marry you for the coffee. You had other attributes that I found much more attractive, Michael countered. I've never heard you call them attributes, but I heard you call them Smith & Wesson several times, Emma said, still smiling. Yeah, you brought out the big guns, and I was powerless to resist you, Michael admitted. Natalie must have you wrapped around her finger or some part of her body, Emma said. There's some serious heat coming from her. I appreciate how well you treated Natalie. She thinks you're a wonderful person. Her opinion of you is one of the reasons why I'm here. A couple of weeks ago, one of her friends overheard your conversation with Thomas over lunch. Natalie talked about this before heading to the West Coast. She thinks your dedication and honesty have been exceptional. I have to agree. After the way I treated you in the divorce, you still flatly rejected Thomas. Many women whose husbands divorced them so quickly would want to take revenge or at least get even. I would never do that to you, Michael, Emma said. I know how hard you work on your projects and how much they mean to you. I also know that you will make sure that this land brings in much more income than Thomas is looking for. He's a fool to doubt you. I appreciate your vote of confidence. Natalie helped me accept the fact that you were my partner, even though I ran the business as if it were all mine. I have to give you the opportunity to express your opinion and say what you want to do, said Michael. If you want to sell this property and split the profits, I will agree. Thomas is trying to convince me to sell it. I think he doesn't have enough money. He believes that if we sell this land, then each of us will be able to get $500,000 out of the business. Would you like this too? I think you probably have a plan for this property that will bring good profits to the company and goodwill from the community, Emma replied with obvious pride. You were never looking for a quick profit. You always wanted to improve the area and make good money at the same time. You have something planned for this area, right? I was negotiating a long-term lease with General Hospital to build an emergency care complex on this site, Michael admitted. It won't be as profitable as the luxury condominium project Thomas's company is pushing to build, but it will still make a good profit and we'll have a contract to build it. This will create jobs as well as goodwill. I guessed it would be something like this, Emma answered a little smugly. You are a good businessman, but you also invest in society. That's what sets you apart from people like Thomas. Thomas thinks it's better to make a quick profit. I don't agree with this line of thinking. As far as I understand, he came to you to propose his idea, and you refused him. I trust you unconditionally, Michael. You never gave me a reason not to trust you. I will support your business decisions until the end, Emma promised. It probably sounds strange when you already know you can't trust me, but it's true. I was thinking about how Thomas is trying to interfere with your business. It occurred to me that we should buy him out. If he doesn't have the money, he'll probably listen to a reasonable offer. He will be happy, and you will be able to run your business as you see fit, Emma reasoned. I've thought about it, but I don't have the capital to make it happen, Michael agreed. We could sell this house, Emma suggested. I can get a nice 2-bedroom apartment for Lily and me. Over the years, we have accumulated a lot of capital. The house is almost paid for, and you've made some major improvements. This will be enough for us to buy out Thomas's share. Now that we're divorced, this is your home. Are you ready to sell it and invest money in the business? Michael asked incredulously. I don't know how soon I'll close the deal on the urgent care center. I cannot guarantee that you will get your money back anytime soon, or even that you will get it at all. Do I look worried? Emma joked. Don't forget that I was married to you for 20 years. You will get everything back with interest. If for some reason you don't, it's okay. I owe you one. Money will never make up for my disrespect, but it will get you away from Thomas. I'll agree to this if you come and live in the house by the lake with me and Lily, Michael said, and then quickly added, you will have your own room with a bathroom. It turned out very nice. I don't think this will work, Emma answered sadly. It's a matter of personal life, not to mention dating and all the drama that will create for you. Sorry, I didn't think about your social life, Michael apologized. Of course, you wouldn't want to bring a gentleman into the house when your ex-husband lives there, especially that guy Alex. It would be awkward. I don't go on dates, and I don't plan on starting, Emma replied. I stopped going to conferences and haven't spoken to Alex since that disastrous trip. It is you who will experience the inconvenience. No woman wants to spend the night with you when your ex is sleeping in the next room. If I'm around, it will be extremely unlikely that you will find a woman who will agree to move in with you, although I do not rule out the possibility. I've seen women fall in love with you. I divorced you because you slept with that guy, and then I moved Natalie in with me. My behavior wasn't the best example for Lily, was it? Michael asked rhetorically. My only excuse is that I was depressed and lonely. Another man took my wife away from me, and my self-confidence was pretty low. Natalie was able to restore it for me. I'm sorry I damaged your self-esteem. I wish this had never happened, but I don't blame you for falling for Natalie. She is a wonderful woman. You are a single man and can enter into any relationship you want, Emma said, and added, I don't think I've ever apologized properly for my behavior. It was not something you caused or created. This is all on my conscience. I truly screwed up, and I am truly sorry for the pain and inconvenience I caused you. You really hurt me, Emma. I've never been unfaithful. I lived for you and Lily. I went from having everything to feeling like a complete failure, Michael admitted. Natalie helped me understand that while I may not have been the perfect husband, I wasn't the reason you cheated. You could have told me that you were not happy with our marriage or our sex life or anything. I would have tried to do better if I had known. I was just stupid, not unhappy. You were a very good husband, a great father to Lily, and a great lover, Emma said. I have lost my way and deserve to be unhappy. It sounds strange, but being unhappy makes me happy. I feel like I'm paying for my sins. Maybe you'll at least come and look at the house by the lake? Asked Michael. I would like to show it and get your opinion. I incorporated some of the ideas we've discussed all these years into the rebuild. I think you'll approve. Lily has a volleyball match in 2 hours. Can I take advantage of this offer another time? Emma asked. Let's look at it before the match. We can go there together, Michael suggested. And then I'll drop you back here. Aren't you afraid that people will think we're back together if we go as a couple? You usually sit as far away from me as possible, Emma noted. Yeah, I was a bit of an ass, but in my defense, you left me in our marriage. You couldn't expect me to be cordial to you, Michael said. Actually, you were much kinder to me than I would have been to you if things had been the other way around, Emma admitted. Your settlement offer was too generous. We both know it. Looks like that kindness is paying off, Michael grumbled. We're thinking of selling the house to buy out Thomas's share. I still find it hard to believe that you're ready to do this. Honestly, Michael, you can take anything of mine that you want. You have always been honest with me. I know that you will not harm me, although I deserve it, Emma said. Let me show you the lake house. Michael suggested to change the subject and give himself time to calm his emotions. While Michael showed the house, Emma admired the renovation. You really did a great job. Lily's room is very large, and she has her own bathroom. This is the dream of every teenage girl, Emma remarked. When Michael showed Emma the second bedroom, she felt it was time to talk about the elephant in the room. It's a lovely room with another amazing bathroom, but I can't stay here, Michael. It will be too painful for me to see you every day and remember what I've lost. We will sell the house, and I will rent an apartment. I'll be fine. We have to leave soon for Lily's match, Emma said. Let me show you the master bedroom, Michael urged. It's bigger than the rest. I know. It's beautiful. You did a great job, as always, Emma praised, looking around the bedroom. That's why your business is so successful. You have an eye for detail. Would you stay with me and Lily if you had this room? Michael asked sharply. I would still see you every day, and I don't think I could stand it, Emma answered sadly. I didn't mean that it would be yours alone, Michael explained nervously. I thought maybe we could share it. Emma raised her eyebrows, studying Michael's face. Are you asking me to share your bed? Ever since the day I found out you cheated and I left home, I felt like crap. I miss you so much that sometimes it hurts. You screwed up big time, but I slept with Natalie for months. This softened your betrayal a little, but did not get rid of it. I wonder if we can get over all this crap and try to be together again. I don't want to be your prey, Emma answered firmly. If you want to punish me even more, I won't do it. If I move in with you, I will be completely faithful and expect the same from you. No more young beauties in your bed. It will be just me there, or I will be gone in an instant. I have worked hard to regain my self-respect, and I intend to maintain it. I love you, Michael, but you have to be completely on board, or I'm leaving. No one was more surprised than Lily when her parents walked into the gym arm in arm. She hurried to them to talk to them without anyone hearing. Mother, Dad, does it mean that? Lily began, but Michael smiled and nodded before she could finish her question. Lily hugged her mother and held her close as she spoke into her ear. Welcome home, Mom. I love you, but don't ever cheat on Dad again. I have a friend with a single aunt who is even more beautiful than Natalie.